Joshua Njenga, and this hashtag 7 minutes of power. They may not be 7 minutes. Those few minutes that will remain are for meditating. You know. And today I'm going to be talking about showing up. This is our second episode. And it is this verse in the Bible, this parable, that talks about a prodigal son. I believe we all have also heard it. There are movies that reference to that, put a prodigal son. And the prodigal son went out there. He left the father. He messed up. He did all sort of things. And he made a decision. He was like, I don't care whether I go back as a servant. I deserve it. And I'll just go back. And he went back and he showed up. When he showed up, when the father saw him, the father ran. He ran towards him. He didn't care what he had done. He actually thought of him as dead. He didn't care where he was from. And he hugged him and he embraced him and he welcomed him just as he was. And my message to you is just show up. A lot of people usually tell me, I need to bathe, I need to prepare myself before I get born again or something of the sort. There's no pre-bathing. There's no pre-bathing when it comes to God. Leave the rest. You can't cleanse yourself. You can only be cleansed, just as you cannot wash yourself without water. You can't cleanse yourself without God, and you need God to cleanse yourself. You need God to wash yourself, and you can't pre-bathe. And my message to you is show up. It doesn't matter what you have done. In our previous episode, I talked about Rahab and Ruth. Rahab was a prostitute, and while Ruth came from a very messed up family, where the family, the one who started the family, had sex with his firstborn daughter. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Don't put the Bible has no filters, by the way. It's one of the most interesting books, better than Game of Thrones, with better endings, depending on where you show up. If you know, you know. So my message to you is just show up as you are, show up and leave the rest to God. There's also this parable about a king that invited people. He invited a lot of people and they refused to show up. Then he invited anyone who could be invited, the lame, anyone. And they showed up and he was happy. All God wants you. All God wants you is to show up. From you is to show up. All God wants from you is to show up. Sorry about my English. All God wants from you is to show up and leave the rest to him. Your presence makes him happy. Yeah. Your presence makes him happy. So show up. That's the message. Thank you. Follow, share, subscribe, comment, show some love, show up in my comments. Thank you very much.